Ground and pound, man. Welcome into the first edition, the very first motherfucking episode of the Ground and Pound podcast, where it's all about the fights. Talk about some UFC, maybe a little boxing. You know, Terrence Crawford and Canelo fighting soon. You know, we're gonna say a little something about that one. But yeah, this is our first episode of a new podcast that we're doing. I got bitch ass Jordan Harris
What's
in
going
here
on?
with me. What's going on, big dog?
Nothing much. Ready to talk some UFC with you?
Be real, bro. First time on the mic, man. You nervous, ain't you?
Nah, not too bad.
Man, look, man. This is really what's going on, man. This is our second podcast that we got going. If you see me on another one, the Fake Stuff podcast with the Craft Man. Me and Jordan been talking about this for like a decade plus. Getting a bunch of podcasts, a family of podcasts, really. Podcast company, a little bit of gambling. Maybe got some other ones coming in with some politics or some shit. But basically what it is we got the Fake Stuff podcast, and now we got the Ground and Pound podcast adding to the grind. So shout out to the Craft Man. You know, he part of that grind with me, a little CEO with my ass. And basically me and Jordan starting. If you can see where me and the Craft Man started to where we are now, and then now what me and Jordan are starting today, like it's totally different. Me and Craftman was on Zoom doing some crazy ass shit. Now we looking legit. We got our second podcast in the mix, and I hope we got a few more projects coming aboard with some of the other guys, part of the crew. So it's what really we trying to do, man. We got podcasts out here where we're gonna talk about fake football. Now we're gonna talk about the fights with a lot of gambling involved, because that's what we're about. I want to gamble, I want to make that money, and then I want to invest, go buy crypto. You know what I'm saying? You feel me on that one, Jordan?
Well, sounds good. That's what I do every day.
Man, we staying on them. Hopefully me and Jordan got another project coming where we could talk about stuff like that a little more often. But UFC, that's one of the things that we like to do. We talk about it every week. Me and Jordan, we play some bets. We doing this thing. We trying to make that money. And once we make that money, we buying Bitcoin. So what me and Craftman say on the other show, we're going to say it here. Don't be a motherfucking hoe.
Share the motherfucking show.
Share that motherfucking thing, man. We don't ask for much. I mean, this is our first episode here. We ain't asking for your money. You can give us some if you want. But what we ask is share the show, man. That's all we ask. I mean, join our little cause right here. What we trying to do here, we trying to build a brand, build some things, build some shows. Am I missing anything, Jordan?
Not that I can think of right now.
All right, then. Well, shoot, man. We're going to hop on it. Go at us on X, at Ground and Pound Pod. Got a new podcast, new Twitter or whatever. Check us out on. I'll be posting videos. I'll probably be on there doing a little thing. Jordan will be on there doing this thing. Jordan, go ahead. Give us your real Twitter while you at it. Go ahead and tell us what it is, bro.
Let's see what the name is. I'll be on there like that. Yeah, I need to get better at it.
Motherfucker ain't shit, man. Go ahead, man. We're going to start trying to build our social media. Got to have a social media presence. That's like one of the weaknesses me and Craftman have, but we're going to start doing that. We on the grind. So go at us on Ground and Pound Pod on Twitter. Go at Jordan on Twitter. Go at me at Crew Matt Ham. What you think, Jordan? You ready to just dive in?
Let's go in. You want to talk about the CBS deal?
Yeah, let's do it, man. How me and Jordan Harris, how we going to do this thing is there'll be a couple topics, maybe a couple matchups that just got set, stuff like that. Then we're going to talk about the pay-per-view of that week, and then we're going to talk about our bets, because this is huge fucking news, man. Me and Jordan Harris could not have picked a better time to start a UFC podcast, and that's for real. UFC is ditching ESPN Plus. I'm so fucking thankful for that. I thank the gods every day for that shit, because I fucking hate ESPN and all their woke-ass shit and all that SEC bias all the time. I'm fucking sick of that shit. UFC to CBS and Paramount, getting rid of the pay-per-view model. No more pay-per-views. So for me and Jordan, that means no more illegal streaming, bro. No more of that shit, man. Because there was a time when, you know, and I know the whole world can agree with me, ain't nobody buying pay-per-views. Everybody was streaming that shit. And then me and Jordan did go through a time where we would buy, but we go in 40-40. But I don't even want to pay 40-40, man. I don't even want to do that shit. $80 for 5 fights. Kiss my ass for that shit. So UFC to CBS and Paramount, no more pay-per-views. Game changer. Makes UFC a little more mainstream. When you're watching football on Saturdays, man, turn it over to the fights. Go ahead. You got your Paramount Plus. I know all you SEC fans got it. And then for the casual fans, man, if you ain't been watching the fights and you hear me and Jordan talking about this is a big card this week, now you could turn that thing on without having to worry about this and that. Pay-per-view is dead. It's been dead. Jordan, what you got to say about that?
Yeah, it's definitely a good deal for the fans. I saw something on Twitter yesterday. It was basically going to save the average UFC fan like $1,000 a year because like I think the Paramount Plus is like $12.99 or something like that. But then like with ESPN Plus, I can't even remember what it went up to. But I know if you pay for the pay-per-view is like $70-$80 now to go watch it. So you go do like 12 of those years. I mean, that's a lot of money you're spending just to watch fights.
Basically, it sounds like the game plan is all these UFC fight nights, even in the Apex, they about to expand the building and everything. That's just a good time to be alive for the UFC, for real. And basically, it sounds like when we was on the ESPN model, man, you'd have to pay your little ESPN Plus, which was what, like 12? What was it, Jordan? I don't even know.
I think it was like, it's probably around that, but then you had to like on top of it, you had to pay for the pay-per-view. It's like $70 like a time. So it's not like with the CBS deal, you're just paying for like the Paramount Plus, but then you don't have to pay no pay-per-view because there is no more pay-per-view anymore.
Right. And it sounds like they're going to have 4 huge cards a year going to be on CBS. And they'll still have big fights. Like they're still going to have the big pay-per-view fights, but it sounds like they're putting together some big ass cards 4 times a year for some CBS. I mean, that's man. Just think about that on your regular TV. I mean, people without cable could watch that shit. You could have an antenna and watch fucking UFC.
Yeah, I think they're doing like what the old UFC model used to be. Like they used to do like usually one big around Super Bowl Sunday. Like they would do it on that Saturday before the Super Bowl. Then you always had like a big one around like July 4th. Usually a big one in like December around Christmas time. And then in the past like 5-6 years, like the November card has gotten real big. And they try to have like a huge fight card in November at Madison Square Garden. So I think it's going to be a good deal. I did see some of the fighters have some complaints about the deal, though, because they're worried about the pay-per-view model not being there.
Look, if I could say something to those fighters, I'd say shut your ass up because you're not making no money from the pay-per-view model. This is the time where you can make a lot of money. I mean, the deal with UFC and CBS was like $7.7 billion or something like that. The deal they had with ESPN was like $2 million or something like. If all those fighters that complaining about pay and all that shit, this is the time to go in and get it. Go build your brand. Go take big fights. Go win your fights and go make your money. Like I get it that I used to be kind of on Dana White's side about the fighters pay and shit, but it's time, bro. This is the time to go and get it if you're a fighter. You need to go in there and accept these big fights and go do this thing. Because, I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot of money to be made now.
No, I agree. I feel like, for example, that you're talking about one of the big cards is going to be the card at the White House next year. That's going to be a huge card. Like that's going to be like a 300 card. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this new deal.
Well, fuck, since we talking about that White House card, ever since that was announced, John Jones, Conor McGregor back in the testing pool. And, man, I want them to come back because I would love to see them both get their ass whooped because I'm just going to be real. I was on John Jones' side for a lot of this shit. Basically, when John Jones wouldn't fight Aspinall, I was kind of on his side at first because I was like, dude, this dude's in a position where he really would retire. Like, he don't need that shit. So you have to throw him that big money. But once I heard Dana White threw him that big money, then I was like, bro, he threw you everything you asked for. He gave it to you. You ducked that Aspinall. That's just the truth. John Jones ducked his ass. And I was on John Jones' side at first. But I'd also heard that they fucking agreed to fight. And then he just decided he didn't want to. So I heard it was agreed upon. Then he decided he didn't want to. So John Jones back in the testing pool. Conor McGregor saw a video of him training. can't, man, nothing with, man, when he comes back, he's getting the shit beat out of him. So if you're a Conor McGregor, hater, I'm lukewarm. Like, I think Conor McGregor was good for the sport, but I know the crew out there, they like to hate on him a little bit. Well, if you like to hate on him, trust me, you want this dude back because he's getting his ass beat. I'm just being honest. I saw a video of him the other day. He couldn't have looked more slower, more out of shape. The party ain't getting to him, bro. But that's your boy, Jordan. Bro, what you got to say?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think Conor's done as far as that. I mean, I still think there's some winnable fights out there for him. Like, if he fights Chandler, like, I think Chandler is like a winnable fight just because Chandler fights so dumb and stuff. Like, Chandler, he just goes in there and stands and bangs, and I feel like Conor could catch him. But it's hard to say, like, coming off a leg break, and then the dude hadn't fought in like 4 years. I mean, the dude's on coke, the dude's on all alcohol. I mean, the dude, he looks in like decent shape as far as like body and stuff, but I feel like I don't think his mind's in it. And I feel like in fighting, you got to have your mind there.
Man, his mind ain't right. I said it once. He made all that money boxing Floyd Mayweather. I was like, man, that dude made $100 million or whatever it was he made. Like, that dude don't want to get back in there and once you're rich, you don't want to get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that played out the way it did.
And that's why I think in the UFC nowadays, you won't ever see like another Conor McGregor like figure like that. Like, they'll never let somebody go box again because I think they showed you, like, look what happens when you give a fighter like millions and millions of dollars. Like, that dude ain't coming back. And like now, I mean, I don't know if anybody will ever sell like Conor did, just because his, like, when he was in his prime, I mean, he was on point. But now I feel like the UFC is bigger than just one fighter. Like, they've marketed themselves so good where it don't even matter. Like, they put on fight nights at the Apex and people watch now. So I thought they were doing their job.
Hey, that UFC definitely doing their thing. I'm gonna be real though. If Tuporia keeps doing what the fuck he's doing, they'll let him box, bro. I'm just being honest.
Toporia's got a bunch of big fights though. First, I think, like, I know that right now. I saw like a guy yesterday predict he thinks it's going to be Gaethje next, which Gaethje doesn't deserve it next. Like, it really needs to be Arman. But he's playing the smart game. I saw him. He wants to fight either Patty or Gaethje because I think he knows those are like winnable fights compared to Arman.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. These guys want to come back. The thing is, when it comes to John Jones, you can't rely on him. Dana White said it himself. You can't rely on that man to headline it. You don't even know, but you really can't rely on Conor McGregor either. Like, you don't know what these guys are going to do. So I know they want to fight at the White House. Hell, I hope they fight at the White House. Man, I'd love to watch them fight. We'll see who they get matched up with. John Jones says he wants to fight whoever the heavyweight champion is at that time. And I'm sure that's going to be Aspinall. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Conor McGregor, he just needs to go ahead and fight Michael Chandler and get his ass beat, because I'm just going to be real. I'm going to put some money on Chandler hard that week. But anything you want to say about these motherfuckers before we move on to the fight card this week?
They need to get their shit together. I mean, Conor's out there showing his hog off on Twitter. I mean, you can't be doing that and try to come back to the UFC. Just not going to happen. I mean, John Jones, he's in a legal battle every week. I mean, the thing is, I think John, he's at the point, I'll say about him, I think he can beat Aspinall, but I think he's kind of worried because he is older. He knows he's not in his prime anymore. So he's fighting for legacy. Whereas like Conor, I feel like he don't even care about his legacy anymore. Like, I feel like he's just fighting for get $10 million, $15 million, whatever they're going to pay him and stuff. So that's all I got to say about those two.
I will say this. Conor McGregor, I think he'll fight his 2 fights out on his contract or whatever, and then I think he goes in bare knuckle boxes. I'm just being dead serious about that.
He's going to get smacked if he goes bare knuckle boxing. Now, I would like to see him against Jeremy Stevenson in bare knuckle boxing. I will say that, though. That'd be a good fight.
That one would sell just because they got that little history of that press conference from way back in the day.
Yeah, that would sell.
But shit. All right, man. We moving on over, man. First week of the podcast, our first pay-per-view, UFC 319, Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. And that's really a joke. Khamzat Chimaev. And listen, this is the truth, man. DDP has a weird-ass style, and Khamzat Chimaev is just a psychopath, a total freak, bro. That dude is, like, insane. The way he talks, the way he walks, that dude is just messed up in the head. The way he wrestles. Listen, man, DDP is really he's got a weird, funky fighting style. But to me, that's just ain't nobody figured it out yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he's fought all the top fighters. He's beat them all. He's got a weird striking, weird grappling. He does the whole thing. But that's really the reason why I thought he was going to be the champion one day in middleweight, because he's a big middleweight, but he can grapple. Like if you go and look at all these champions, you could go through the whole board from flyweight all the way to heavyweight. That joke is like 80%. You got to have some kind of grappling in your game. Like I know there's a couple of them in there, like Tuporia, but that's the reason why they don't want him to fight Armin, because when Armin gets up there, they're going to grapple and he's going to get his ass beat. And that's just the truth. So you got to have some kind of grappling. That's what Chimaev does. This motherfucker takes your ass to the ground, chokes you out in the first round. I mean, what are your thoughts about this fight right here?
This fight I'm kind of torn on. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I know in the pick'ems you told me yesterday, let's go with DDP, and I did as far as the betting, but my heart's torn on this one because I don't know. Khamzat's he's a different animal. It's just the only thing about Khamzat is hard to tell because I feel like he has such a big gap in between fights. And then when he fought Usman a couple of years ago, like that would have gone 5 rounds. I think Usman would have beat him and stuff. So that's why it's kind of hard to tell. But then he goes in there with somebody like Whitaker, which I do think Whitaker's past his prime. He goes in there and dominates Whitaker, breaks his jaw in the first round and stuff. But then it's hard to say, like fights, I don't know. DDP just has a weird style though. Like I feel like if Khamzat gets on top of him, it's over with. It's Khamzat. But then DDP's so strong. Like I saw, they said he walks around at like 245. Dude's weighing in at 185. I mean, that's huge. Like for his like weight division. Yeah. And so I feel like the only thing with Khamzat, it's always been a cardio issue. So I say the first 2 rounds, if he doesn't get it done, then it's a DDP probably gonna win.
Yeah, look, couldn't agree with you more. I'm more of like a first round. Like if he don't get his ass in the first round, I think DDP's got his thing. The reason is I think Chimaev he's going to go for the takedown, like probably from the jump. Probably won't even throw a punch. He'll probably go for the takedown right away, and he usually gets it. But I think DDP can get back up. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he's just going to get choked out and let him in. And DDP knows, man. This dude knows what Chimaev's going to do. He's prepared for it. He asked for this fight, so I think he's just straight up ready for this. And once he gets past this one, I think he'll be the champion in this division. The reason why I like DDP and Pantoja at flyweight, because they're not looking to move up. These guys are saying, I'm going to wipe out this division first before I even consider doing that shit. To me, that tells me you got your mind right. I think DDP's mind is right. His cardio is right. This dude is ready to roll. I can't fucking wait. I'm fucking hyped about that shit. But if it goes, you're right. If it goes further, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, this is DDP's fight. Because to me, I saw Khamzat Chimaev struggle with Gilbert Burns at welterweight. Like, I ain't gonna say struggle, but that was a grind of a fight. And Gilbert Burns been getting his ass pounded ever since then. And like you said with Usman, that fight was pretty close. Like, Usman ain't no chump, but Usman's knees are a little bit older and stuff. Usman took that fight up a weight class and on 10 days notice. And that was a close fight. So my thing is like, I think Chimaev's good, but I'm kind of thinking he might not be all that. So I think there's just great value at DDP with plus 175.
I said the only thing about DDP is though, like this style of fight, he's about to fight Khamzat compared to the last 3 fights he fought Strickland. Strickland's a jabber. He's gonna jab you. You got Izzy. He's a kickboxer. Like he ain't gonna take you down. He's just gonna like jab. He's gonna hit you with the kickbox and then hit you with the hands and stuff. And then Whitaker, he has a little bit better wrestling, but he's also he's gonna kind of hit you with the jab and stuff too. So I thought this matchup with Khamzat is gonna be a totally different style matchup. But I think, like you said, I think he's a good underdog to pick and gambling and stuff. But it's just hard to know in this one. Like I said, I'm kind of torn on this matchup.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And as far as the card goes in general, though, go ahead, give us a letter grade. A plus. I'm gonna give it an A. I like all these fighters because what you call? We got DDP, we got Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. Big time fighter in Bellator comes over. We got Jeff Neal, Carlos Parates. We got MVP, Jared Cannonier. It looks like Tim Elliott and the Japanese fighter just fought Pantoja in that championship fight. Kai Asakura looks like they got him on there, so they moved them to the main card, but as far as the overall card goes, what do you say? Good card, bad card?
No, I think it's a good card. I was looking at it yesterday. I didn't realize it was as good as it was, and it's a pretty stacked card, honestly. Like, hey, the co-main I think could be a little better, but Pico's a star. He came from Bellator. It's gonna be a step up in competition though, because a lot of these guys that come over from Bellator, PFL, they kind of struggle when they first come into the UFC. So that's gonna be an interesting one to see. I thought the Jeff Neal one, that's gonna be an interesting fight. I thought that's kind of low key. Like a lot of people don't. Jeff Neal's a fun fighter to watch. Protest is good. What you think about the
Yeah.
Cannonier one?
I think MVP is going to do what he does. He's going to touch him and run away. And I think Cannonier could fuck him up. But I just think MVP has a style where he hits you and he backs away and he hits you again and he backs away. And to me, it's not the most exciting style, but gambling wise, I'm all in on it. You know what I'm saying?
I see they got your favorite boy on here too. Oh, Bobby Green.
Yep. Bobby Green on there, one of my favorite fighters to watch. I mean, there's some good fights, just the prelims and everything. I mean, Chase Hooper, Alexander Hernandez fighting. Chase Hooper's a big favorite in that one. And, you know, he's just, I don't know. I don't ever know what to think about his fights because he's just such a jiu-jitsu guy. It's like somebody's got to pound that dude eventually. But I don't know. Gerald Mearshart, Andrade. I mean, we got fights all over the place. Barbosa fighting in the early prelims. Brian Battle.
Yeah, those two that's a good card. I mean, I'll probably give it like an A.
Yeah, no doubt. So, all right, man, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and place my gambling picks. I got 4 plays for the weekend. I get these plays in. I get them placed early, and I'll probably have a prize pick. So you check us out on Twitter, like we said, and I'll post it on Twitter. Try to hit us on a little 3-leg, a 4-leg parlay or something like that. But mainly when you gamble with me, I like to do straight bets, and if I do parlay, I like to 2-leg it because sometimes I like a fighter. I know he's going to win, but the odds are where I can't win money. Like Anthony Hernandez this past week, Fluffy Hernandez. I knew he was going to win, so I tried to 2-leg it with Cody Brundage, and his bum ass messed up my whole play. So basically, I like to 2-leg that thing if I can. We get to a prize picks, I might 3-leg, 4-leg it because you're only doing it once a week, I might even do those just once a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? So I like to try to see if I can hit big on them. Anything you want to add to as far as like the strategy of gambling for us? I mean, you've been in the trenches lately, gambling on baseball and all kinds of stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I'm just getting into the gambling pretty good. I mean, you taught me pretty good, so we've been doing pretty good the last month or two, I'd say.
So shout out to Akil Galani. If you ever want to gamble, we can set you up. We got you set up nice. All right, my first play of the week for UFC 319. And this one's in the early prelims. Brian Battle fighting at middleweight. This dude has pretty much been, since I've ever watched The Ultimate Fighter, this dude's really been the most successful one since I've seen. I know they took that break, COVID and all that stuff, and then since they came back, I've watched some. Brian Battle's there. This dude's winning fights. He's at -160 right now. To me, this is just an easy play for me. 160, easy wins. Let's start the day off right. Let's go ahead and make a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
What you think, man?
No, I agree with that one. I think that's an easy lock. I feel like he'll get the job done. So,
all right, let's move over to the main card. My next 3 plays. MVP, like I said, me and Jordan just touched on it a minute ago. I think MVP is going to touch Jared Cannonier up, touch him up, back away, touch him up, back away. If you ever watch MVP's fighting style, he's got a unique fighting style. His hands are down, but he's always moving, man. He's always going in, coming out. I think they're fighting at middleweight.
mm-hmm.
I think that's right. So he's up in weight. He's really been taking fights ever since he came in from Bellator. He's just taking whatever fights sound interesting. Like I know he fought. I want to say he fought Ian Gary to start off his thing, but ever since then, he's just taking fight. He fought Kevin Holland. That's what he did. He fought Kevin Holland, and then I think he fought up in welterweight somebody good. But since then, he's just taking fights that are interesting to him, like Shara Bullet or whatever. They took that fight. They fought in Abu Dhabi. I picked MVP to win that one, and it was a striker. So MVP, I think Jared Cannonier, I think it's just a good matchup for him because I think Cannonier is in good shape, and I think he could really bust him up, but I don't think he's going to touch him like that.
Yeah, I think MVP just has such a weird style and stuff. It's hard to tell with him too though, because some of the fights he has, like he goes up and down in weight and stuff, and he's fought some good guys though. Like I mean, Kevin Holland, he's no bum. Like Ian Gary's no bum. Char Bullett's no bum, and he's fought the top of the top in the UFC. This one's it's tough. I mean, I could see somebody putting it as an underdog as Cannonier though, because he's a dog.
Agreed. And then my other leg of this, Carlos Prates, and he's been gaining a lot of steam. I know he just lost his last fight with Ian Gary, but he almost got his ass out of there. So Prates, and when you combine these two legs, is at plus 110. I just think Jeff Neal is one of those guys. He's an exciting fighter, but you can't ever tell if he's 100% locked in. Like, is he just there to collect a check? Is he there to, sometimes he has trouble with weight, stuff like that. So, but these fighting nerds like this, Prates, all them, I know they're locked in. So that, to me, this is just, you get him at plus 110, MVP, Prates, go ahead and cash out early on the main card. What you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I agree. I was looking at Jeff Neal. He's 3-2 in his last 5. So, and then one of his wins is RDA, and RDA is 40 years old. So,
Right.
And then Prates, he's only lost to Ian Gary. So, I mean, he's pretty much been on a win streak since he's been to UFC, except for Ian Gary. So, yeah, I think this is a good bet to place.
And for those who don't know, Ian Gary's like a title contender. So this dude fought way up there and really hung with him. And Ian Gary, he to me, he's kind of a boring fighter to me. Like, Prates had him rocked at the end. He almost got his ass out of there. So, listen, this one right here is my dog of the night. Other than, well, see, we got a couple underdogs, you know what I'm saying? But Lerone Murphy, and the reason why I'm not picking Aaron Pico, however you want to pronounce his name, is you touched on it earlier. These Bellator fighters have been coming over to the UFC, and they're getting exposed, bro. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen to Aaron Pico, but I'm just saying he's a minus 140 favorite. And I seen how Pitbull came in here. I seen how Patchy Mix. Oh my word, man. That dude looked like a damn early prelim fighter for real, bro. Like, he was trash, man. And I don't know. Pitbull finally got him a win, but he didn't even look good the last time they fought his fight. So I don't know. Bellator, like, I used to watch a little Bellator, dabble into it. And I used to say that those guys weren't all that good. I would say there's a couple fighters that could come over to the UFC and do it. But the guys that were thinking that could do it, they're coming over and getting their ass beat. So I think Lerone Murphy, undefeated, took this fight on short notice, short-ish notice. He definitely had enough time to get ready for it. This is my favorite. I cannot wait to watch this fight. Co-main, man, damn, I can't wait for Lerone Murphy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is a great pick, actually, because like you were just saying, I felt like these guys that come over from the PFL, Bellator, they struggle a lot when they come to the UFC. And then Pico, I remember, I don't even know if you were like watching back in the day. I remember when he came onto the scene in Bellator, they were calling him like the LeBron James of MMA because he was young. He was like 18 or 19 when he came on the scene. And then he had a good win streak, then lost some. I did see he's in his last like 5, he's like 4-1. But a lot of these guys you've probably never even heard of. Like, I mean, he has 2 or 3 guys that I've heard of before, but most of them not. So I think Lerone Murphy's a good pick in this one because you don't know what you're going to get with Pico, and he's a step up in competition coming to the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, Lerone Murphy's a legit title contender at featherweight, undefeated. So, I mean, this is where go get your money out. We're winning money this week. I feel like every bet I place, and I say this, I do want to be transparent when I do this. I was super high in UFC. I was on a huge streak. I think the last 3 out of 4 I've taken the L. But this one right here, I'm as confident as any card. Slide it over, main event. I got DDP at plus 175. Jordan said he has placed the bet, but he was torn on it too. I just think Khamzat being the favorite to me is wild. Even though if you think Khamzat could win, I don't think putting him as a favorite to me is just, I just don't even know. And then at plus 175, you got the champion at plus 175 in the middle of his prime. This is the time to cash out. It's time to make that money. It's good value too, man. So even if like I thought Khamzat was just going to dominate, I would just I would have to know he was going to dominate before I did not put this money on DDP. Anyways, this is great value bet. I say go in there. DDP stands for Dricus du Plessis. If you're a casual or you're just brand new to the game, DDP plus 175. He is the champ, Jordan. We've talked about it earlier, anyways. But what say you?
Like I said, I'm kind of torn on this one. Like, I'm kind of going with Khamzat, honestly. I did place the bet for DDP because, I mean, it's a great, I mean, plus 175. I mean, shoot, you put $20, $25 down. I mean, you're making good money for it. And I do think it's kind of crazy that the champ is the underdog that big and stuff. And Khamzat, like I said, he's so great and stuff, but we don't see him active enough. So it's hard to tell, like, what he's going to come in like. I know he's had health issues and stuff. Yeah, I think like long COVID or something like that. And then, but I do think it is going to be a good style for DDP because, like I said, the past 3 guys he's fought, like he hadn't really fought a guy like Khamzat. So I do think it's going to be a big test for DDP.
Yeah, I just cannot wait, man. This Saturday, we'll be placing these bets. We'll be on our social media accounts tracking it. Once the results are in, we'll put it out there for you. Listen, man, that's pretty much the episode. But is there anything you want to add to UFC 319 before we take off for the day?
Man, I think that's it. I just appreciate y'all listening to us.
Yeah, man, this is our first episode, and it's like I said, I'm not gonna be on here talking about the Fake Stuff podcast all the time. And when I'm on the Fake Stuff podcast, I ain't gonna be on here talking about the ground and pound. But I just wanted to say thank y'all for listening to our podcast. And me and Craftman always, when we do our other podcast, we always thank everybody for listening because we mean it. We thank every download, every subscription. Just thank y'all for it. Me and Jordan are gonna say the same thing, man. Just thank y'all for listening to this episode. This is our first episode. Me and Jordan been talking about doing this for a long time. I'm finally glad that we on here doing this thing because we on the grind. People don't know me and Jordan. This is a great time to be alive. We on that grind. We investing. We getting healthy. We doing all that stuff. Y'all come along with this journey for us. Listen, we don't ask for much. Just don't be a hoe and share the show. Share the show. But listen, everybody, thank y'all for listening to the podcast. I think for this first episode, we are out.